The US inflation rate is much higher than the government is willing to admit. Why isn't it listed and discussed truthfully then? Because by publishing and using true data, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Labor Department, and US Federal Reserve would wreak havoc across financial markets and the wider economy. Something that's inevitable anyway, but why not guide perception alchemically while continuing to kick cans down the road? Imagine if the real inflation rate of 6% were actually listed. Would holding US government bonds, which pay only around 2%, then make sense for you, the personal investor, let alone for foreign central banks or institutions which recycle oil revenue receipts into US treasuries? And would not the government then need to pay more for consumer price index linked entitlement payments like Social Security, while corporations would in turn be forced to raise wages? Most critically, would not interest rates then need to be hiked by necessity rather than remain as merely one of seemingly many options available to clearly policy-cornered global central banks? You start seeing the massive stakes underwriting requisite lies, and thus how and why everyone dances around numerical dead elephants in the living room. Yet mathematical inertia tends to do its own thing. So best to be properly informed and plan around the government's window dressings, i.e. imagine that it's early 2007 and you knew then what you know now. Our 44th episode of Money and Fear will look historically, politically, and numerically at the realities of hidden inflation, because you're not supposed to, yet urgently need to at this point. No, you're not crazy for thinking that you're paying more for things while driving past homeless strewn across manicured suburban boulevards, all the while corporate press and politicians claim that the economy is chugging along just splendidly. If you're not a Newsbud member yet, please join and tell others. For practically nothing, the site gives you unrivaled information covering current, global, and economic news that you're literally not supposed to know about. The site empowers you to stay ahead of the herd and to think, well, like the increasingly nervous bureaucrats at the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the US Fed, and their owning private banking powers think. The time is now to support independent, nonpartisan media, so please consider joining the worldwide Newsbud community today and tell other genuinely curious friends and family out there as well. Thank you.